Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So this week's video is a story time about the time that I got ghosted, and I think it's important to note that I got ghosted by a boy whose nickname was Sporho. So if you don't speak Xhosa, Sporho is ghost in Xhosa. So maybe the signs were there and I just wasn't looking, like I didn't care. Anyway, let's just get straight into the story. So basically what had happened was, so the story is from 2015. Around October, I met this boy and I started dating said boy. Okay, so the academic year obviously ends around November, end of November, December time, and people go back to their hometowns or whatever. So I am from East London, and the university that I went to then was in East London. But during those specific December holidays, I went to Newcastle to visit my sister, and this gent went home because he was not from the city. Okay, so during this December holidays, like I said, I was in Newcastle with my sister, right? This boy did not have WhatsApp, did not have Facebook, he was not on any social media. We communicated using text messages and like SMSs and calling and obviously face-to-face communication. And being that it was holiday time and we were in different cities, different provinces, we were only left with calling and texting. So here I was thinking that I was in a relationship. I thought, because so basically I'm in Newcastle, I'm thinking that I'm gonna be communicating with this Jane, like it's gonna be, normal stuff. But hey, bidnananditi someone went MIA, as in ghost, like ghost. No calling, no texting. Okay, that's already a problem. But if I'm calling you and if I'm texting you, now you're not replying, then that's how I was like, yo. And I think during that time, ghosting was not a thing like that happened. It didn't even have it didn't even have the term ghosting. It was another thing, yeah. So at first I was very much confused, and I think I didn't immediately go to the thoughts of my like ghost, yeah. But that's not where my mind went. Maybe I think at first I thought, maybe he lost his phone. I don't know. You make excuses just to make yourself, feel better. So that's what I was doing. So I hit up a friend of mine, because first of all, this is the first time experience for me, like dating and also being ghosted. So I'm like, friend, this is what's happening. Lumtu is not answering me, is not calling me, first of all. And everyone was like, no, friend, call him. Like, tell him how you feel. Tell him that this is what you want from him. Tell him this is what you expect from him. Tell him communication is what you need. And I was like, okay, friend, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I called him. He answered. And I told him, listen, sweetheart, this and that, I need you to talk to me, I need you to communicate, this is what I need. Obviously communication is very, very important. So this is what I did. So Jen was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, babe. I'm sorry. I'm gonna communicate a bit more, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh well, all is well, like you're in the right. All I had to do was just tell him back, listen, text me, call me, answer me, like, and everything was good. Or so I thought. Yeah, bro. So I remember, like, okay, so now it's the next day, so I'm obviously expecting like a change. Hey, I'm just still being like ghosted basically, and the phonella and the textella and the toani, and I'm like, and then I started like sharing. I started being sad about it, like, but what is this supposed to mean? Like, And I imagine, guys, it's the festive holidays. Like, I'm supposed to be having a nice time. I got my results. My results is pumile. I passed. I'm supposed to be in good spirits. But here I was, being stressed. Degoa, because I was being ghosted and I didn't understand. Like, it's one thing to reject someone and tell them that you don't want them. Like, I'll accept that. Go again, but I'll accept that. You know? But when you don't even know what's happening and your mind is just like, you do not know what to think, you do not know, but move on or kanye. Stay here and just keep trying. I don't know what you're trying, but that's why I ask what you must do. It's a mind basically here. So I was like, hey, I'm so stressed. And I remember being stressed like consistently for days, because I'm like, okay, today is gonna call. The day ends, nothing. Next day, and you find yourself counting back. It's been 4 days, and it stresses you out. Yeah, well, I think I called again, but mean like really, it would have been better if Umdu would just dump you, but that did not happen. Okay, that did not happen. So I think the one time that I realized this whole thing is getting to me, and I think I realized how much of how, I don't know what the word to use, but ghosting it's wrong, guys. It's evil. It's evil. Ghosting is evil. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Ikhohlakele, ingcolile. Ghosting someone is very, very evil. I remember me and my sisters were gonna go down to Durban for the weekend, and yeah, it was like a nice weekend vibe. So I remember I had 2 phones. I had my normal smartphone and I had Utilili. And Utilili is like those brick phones, those tiny phones where it's just for calling and texting. Period. Yeah, about like a 33 Nokia 3310, but it was like an MTN Mint. So I had this phone. So my main number was on my brick phone, my small phone that everyone knew. The other SIM card on the other phone, I don't even know if people knew that number. No one ever called me on that number. So that phone was my main number. So with being stressed about this whole thing, is it gonna call, is it gonna what, I was like, you know what, this weekend I just want to have a good time. I just want to have a good time, and I really don't want to be thinking about, he didn't call today, is it gonna call, is it not, like, I really just wanted to have a good time. So what I did is that I took my phone, the one with my SIM card. So I took the phone with my main SIM card, and I remember I put it in the kitchen cupboard at the top, and I was like, you know what, I'm leaving this phone here. Obviously, I couldn't tell people that other people wanted to call me. I told my sisters, I told my mother, I told my friends, but listen guys, what had happened is that my phone fell in the toilet, and right now it's not working, so I put it in rice over the weekend so that the water can be drained out, and then it can work again. Obviously that was a lie, because I was embarrassed about the actual story about why I was doing this. And I obviously my sister Uvuyo, I don't think she knew any of this was going on, because we're not supposed to be dating. Yeah, you know any of this, but I left that phone in Newcastle, and then we went to Durban. And really shame, I had a good time. Like, I wasn't thinking about it, because not that I wasn't thinking about it, like I was lying to myself, being this card and sitting, but I'm not gonna know because I left my phone. So it was like I was tricking myself into believing that maybe he called me, but I had left my phone, so I have no way of knowing. So might as well have fun. I'll see when I see. You guys came back, obviously no such things. So obviously at a certain point you start accepting these things. You start being like, okay, fine, he doesn't want you, but he doesn't know how to say it, and you start accepting it. So that's where I was at, and I thought I was accepting these things. And then obviously it was like end of January the next year, and it's time to go back to campus. It's time to go back to academics. So I went back to East London. I went to where I stayed. Let me tell you something, like being at the ghetto, because this gent, like, obviously I didn't know that he was coming into the city. Well, he was like, I didn't know that he was coming into the city, but jiggy handy. When I remember it was registration day, and when I was like on my way out, he was there. I think he was there to do some things like for school, get his academic records or whatever, And this person was like, when someone acts like nothing's happening, like everything is all good, like he was acting like someone that I've been communicating with, someone I've been talking with, like someone that I know for sure is my man. Like, but yeah, trust and believe that while he was being all like, hey, I was like, hi, like, I had forgotten all that had happened, like with the ghosting situation. I literally forgotten all about it and did not inquire about it. I feel like my spleen is not actually is letting people get away with taking accountability for their actions, but yeah, we just call out. Yeah, and I think he stayed for like one day, and then he went back home, and he ghosted me the same night again, because I feel like you were supposed to tell me about, okay, I'm at home now, none of that. And he still went MIA. And I think although before I saw him again, I was getting to that point where I'm accepting what is happening, but after I saw him, I was back to square one of being like, what does this mean? Are we good? Do I need to move on? Like, I didn't know what I was literally back to square one. And I really was in the ghetto for like, again, from square one. And I remember what I did. My sister, the one that was in Newcastle, that year she moved to East London. And I like during that time that was like going through the most because of this change, I decided, listen, can I stay over at your place for like a couple of days? Reason being, obviously where I stayed, I had roommates, and I really couldn't be, I really couldn't be like comfortable with my emotions and all those kind of things. So I really needed like a space of my own, because I knew obviously she goes to work from like 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. So I would have all that time to just, cry if I need to cry, do what I need to do to be okay. So obviously, I went there and I was staying there for a couple of days, and I remember like on top of that, like it was now Feb, and I was super stressed because it's gonna be Valentine's Day. Imagine, you don't know if you have a boyfriend or not, and it's gonna be Valentine's Day, and basically what happens on Valentine's Day will determine where you're at. And I really wasn't ready for that. Like, I wasn't ready for like the hard truth. As much as I really felt like this whole thing of not being sure where you stand it really eats you up. But I was also stressed about, okay, now I'm gonna get like some sort of like confirmation about Valentine's Day of where we're at. Right. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to have to wait for that day. I feel like it's gonna be far more brutal if I do. So I remember I walked to the shops, I walked to the mall, and I bought airtime. Mind you, let's say this person hasn't been talking to me for like a week and a half. So I sent him a text message, but it's over. I mean, I know, but I'm clown, but I needed that for myself to. Obviously, this person was no longer in the same, like, we were not on the same page basically, but I needed to say it, but it's over, for me, because the other thing is that it would have been another case, but this person is back in the city, next thing he's hitting you up, because technically no one broke up with anyone, those I was really just trying to, it was closure, guys. Yes, it was closure. I really needed closure, and that's basically what it was for me. So that's damper. That's damper way too, because I can't say but I dumped him because he was already out of that situation. But I guess he didn't have the balls to let me know what's popping in the hood. So yeah, that's basically how the whole thing ended. That's how I was ghosted. Ghosting is it's the bottom, it's the ghetto. Do not do it. Like, let a person know you don't want them, even if you lie about the reason, but let them know so that they can move on, because the worst thing is not knowing where you stand with someone, and also not knowing what then you should do. Should you move on? Should you hold on? Kanti, the other person is probably moving on anything. Like, I still don't know why I was ghosted, but I'm over it now. I've been rocked a few times after that, so it is literally the least of my ghost stories. Yeah. In conclusion, guys, don't ghost. Okay, don't ghost. It is evil. Okay, it's ingolile. Don't ghost. Communicate. Let a person know, even if it's a lie, because I don't personally ghost, but I might lie about why I don't want you, but I won't ghost. Okay, at least. So also try to be honest if you can. I'm just a coward sometimes, and I really don't want to be hurting people's feelings. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and also don't ghost.